Now, daily heavy rains in parts of Somalia have resulted in severe flooding, especially in southern Somalia. In Doolow district in the Gedo region for example, the heavy rains have caused water levels in two rivers, Juba and Dawa, to rise, causing massive overflooding with people's homes inundated, farmlands submerged, and crops destroyed.
The floods have rendered roads impassable, cut off major supply routes, making access very difficult with families displaced, particularly those who had settled along the rivers. According to the Minister of Information, Daud Aweis, the floods caused by torrential rainfall have killed at least 31 people in various parts of Somalia and have caused extensive damage to civilian infrastructure. We now bring in Mohamed Hassan Mohamed. He's a humanitarian journalist and former chairman, Somalia Election Commission. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. And I think, first of all, we want to send our condolences for the lives that have been lost, unfortunately, as a result of the flood. Take us through what exactly has gotten us to this point where it's in a really dire situation and the floods are intense and lives are being lost and roads are being blocked.
Oh, thank you very much. Current situation of Somalia, especially the climate issue, it was really going on past years incidents. The country has been experiencing severe drought last 10 years. And the rain was less, especially the country always receives two main season rains, which is April and October and November and December. That long time drought created desertification and more vulnerable for the people of the pastoralist and farming area. The weather climate forecast has already indicated El Nino, and people were getting this information past 6 months. But they are not sure. And also the country was in civil war almost in 30 years, which has devastated the livelihood and other socio-economic issue. So following this flood, the people are suffering a lot. Already in the rivers, Juba and Shabelle and Dawa has been flooded. There is a town which has been almost drowned by the water. There is a bridge which has been washed away by the flood. And government is organizing some hotlines that the people can reach out, and also started to visit the area. Also, the insecurity is the main challenge which is causing to reach the flood-affected area. So there's so many issues plus the flood, which is really created the Somali people situation in very, very devastated issue.
Yeah, but let's also talk about, the number of people who have been displaced so far. The death toll, is between 30 and 40. There's conflicting reports. Some say 40, some say, 31. But, there is obviously hundreds of thousands of people that have been displaced. Talk about what they are currently dealing with and what their current realities are, because no one knows how long this is going to take.
And sure, there is a number of the people who has been displaced in many areas, but the problem is government officer and the other humanitarian agency is difficult to reach out those areas because of the insecurity. As you know, the mostly of South Central Somalia and insurgents, Al-Shabaab group and other terrorist groups are operating there. And aid agencies and also the government institutions has not fully operated in those affected areas. And so that situation caused it to not exactly get the real figure that the flood has been displaced. And also to reach out those affected area is another difficult, because they need shelter, they need food, they need also medical facility. To receive this humanitarian aid also is another critical issue, because there is no road. The security matter is another issue, and in somehow only accessible humanitarian facility that can be reached those affected people, or could be the airdrop, and that facility is not possible right now, because the humanitarian aid has not arranged such that facility, and even the government of Somalia has no power to facilitate such this facility.
Well, it just seems like it's a never-ending bombardment of climate extremes for Somalia. First, it was droughts that lasted for 2 years, and just as the drought was coming to an end, the rain started, which was somewhat a sigh of relief. And now the rains have brought the floods that would also increase hunger. And according to projections, a quarter of Somalia's population will face a hunger crisis. So let's talk about, what ways can we support, help, put an end to the hunger crisis? It's a really, really difficult time for the people of Somalia. How can the rest of the world in this moment be of support to the people of Somalia? And how much help are you getting so far?
The reality, the climate issue in Somalia is real. Was in 2022, 2021, and 2019, these 3 years was dry, and farmers and also the pastoralists has getting difficult situation to find pasture, water, and their life was difficult. So again, in this season, in their season, it is heavy rains with heavy floods, and there is a year which is severe drought, and the following year is flood and heavy rains. So both these situations are not helping the people, and plus the poor government institutions, because the people need is awareness. People need is where they can find the information. Sometimes it's difficult, and even those people, how can be reached, it is another critical issue. The life of these people need is better awareness, better preparation that come from the government institutions and other humanitarian agencies, and to adopt the climate change issue and to find the solution. So solution can be, and as you know, the land of Somalia, it is flat land, it's grassing land. So whenever the flood starts, it can flood the large and mostly the farming area, and also the urbanities. So the people are starting to displace, at least to look for where they can survive, especially the highlands or the mountainous areas. So they're starting there to maintain or to stay some months. When the water go out, they come back. They still start the same issue. So some other years the flood still come, they displace. So you can find the families who can tell you they have been displaced in flood issue more than 4 or 5 times in their life. So, so to face this situation, people need is better information, better preparation for themselves, and 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 even the rivers, how can be at least build the better and backs of the rivers, and also to prepare another area or maybe the water catchment which can allow the huge cubic meter of water can be held to ease and minimize the risk of the floods. So this issue needs a more and more cooperative and coming from the government, humanitarian agencies, and other donors who are supporting to protect the damages that come from the climate change.
All right.
Mohamed Hassan Mohamed, it's a really dire time in Somalia. The rest of the continent sends our thoughts, prayers, and condolences for the lives that have been lost. And we do hope that you get as much aid as you need in this time to be able to help you out of this really dire situation. The forecast predicts that it would get more intense and that 1.5 million people might be displaced by the end of the year. So I really do hope that we will continue here on the station. We'll continue to lend our voice to this cause and ensure that we do our best in telling your story so that more help can come. Thank you very much for your time with us.
Thank you very much.